What's going on, YouTube? This is going to be another one of the Legion walkthroughs, I should say. It's going to be, I believe, Nomad now. We did Lantean last time. And that's kind of how we're going to have to scroll through this. Nomad as a Legion is kind of crap, if I'm being nice about it. There isn't much for great openers with Nomad, and there is not much for realistically a good middle or late game. It's a kind of an all-around awkward Legion to play. At this point, your only magic damage is Pilgrim. You've got a ton of Pierce, and then your only impact is Looter and Sandbadger. With Boar getting a nerf in 9.1, it's just really not that strong. But I think out of all of the options here, your best option for an opener is probably Sandbadger. Just because I think it's the only one that you can consistently hold 1 through 3 with. I don't know if there's much better option for a way to hold on mid to late. Early, I should say. It used to be that you could go Sky Queen, but Sky Queen recently has been getting some unsavory nerfs, and it makes it a little bit harder to win with, in my opinion. Boar with the current nerf is still strong, but it's not going to be as broken anymore in terms of the ability to slow down a wave near indefinitely for the first couple seconds. We got a 20 here. We can easily go 5 worker in this situation with Sandbadger. By the way, these are the new crabs. I think they look phenomenal, as well as I like the new little icon for them. I think they look a lot more consistent with the new skins they've been pushing through. More consistent with the new skins they've been pushing through, I think, is the best way I can describe them. We're going to see what they do here for send or what have you. We are going to double snail into the Green Devil. I don't think we'll get him just because the bots will overbuild. But there was the opportunity to do something there. My bot is holding, which is good. But yeah, the slow got completely removed with the boars now, so they are a lot weaker in general. We are going to actually get the Green Devil with the double snail. So there we go. Something for us, right? We did not get a send here, which makes it a little bit tough to push. But yeah, the hardest thing for me with Nomad Legion is there's just a lack of overall synergy between it. It kind of seems like the Legion, I don't want to say got the short end of the stick, but it kind of did. Feels like it kind of was kind of one of those things where they just kind of dumped everything into it and were like, yeah, this works. Just doesn't have a whole lot of synergy for me. And again, in previous patches with Harpy being a good starter is not, you know, it was usable. You still then in turn though had weak waves mid to late game because you didn't have much for the way of holding some of these weird sends in between. 13 would have been a struggle unless you were to go Desert Pilgrim upgrades, etc. And that's probably going to be my go-to at this point. I do have the ability to harp Sky Queen pulverize inevitably, but again, I don't know if I want to go down that road. Sky Queen did just get a buff, yes, but again, yeah, the lack of synergy is really what makes this so difficult to play around. We're going to go Warg here for lack of a better option. Warg is my go-to, as well as just a single Harpy. I think that's probably our best bet in terms of just getting some value on the board, because I do anticipate they send me on 4 rather than 5. We can pack rat next time they give us a send. an 80 here. We're going to push at least one, but I'm a little nervous that we won't hold much of this, if I'm being quite frank. Brute does definitely kind of disintegrate a lot of our build. Pack Rat doing actually really well for us in the split, getting through quite a lot, though both of the bots look like they are also going to be leaking. My bot as well. Looks like it's going to be a Fiesta situation on 4 here. You guys will get a chance to see the new running animations with everyone now. The increased speed. Both Brutes going to King is not good for us, but again, we're kind of lacking any type of hold ability early game because of the fact that we kind of lack a lot of good mid-game units. If Warg had something that synergistically was more beneficial in this Nomad Legion, I think it would work out okay. But a lack of synergy with within the actual Legion itself for Warg kind of makes for some scary situations to be put into. $60 resend for us. I did treasure hunt, so we might leak again here. Again, lacking some magic damage as I wasn't able to get the Pilgrim out if I wanted to correctly push. So we're kind of sitting in a little bit of a sketchy situation. The Badger's staying alive long enough to give us some good DPS potential at least. I will be going for a Desert Pilgrim next if possible. Both me and my bot are leaking pretty hard here. Treasure Hunt I think was a little overzealous, and it's kind of coming back to bite me in the butt now. If I look at my bot though, I don't think I'm going to get my bot until wave 7, so we're just going to go for the save. Oh no, shoot, we actually need the value to be able to get out a Pilgrim. Synergy equals auras and combo between units. Exactly, that's exactly what they are. Theoretically, yes, there's a minor combination between Warg and Desert Pilgrim to get Desert Warg upgraded, but it's not really that great, and it requires a awkward setup right now to utilize, and it's, again, as I said, it's just not really that great. So while, yeah, you can make it work, it's not one that I would really utilize on a consistent basis. We are not going to treasure hunt again here. I'm just incredibly weak now in these next 2 waves, so I need to try to keep in line value-wise as much as I can. The send here is nice. We should hold this. At least it looks to be a hold, if you ask me. Double Green Devil probably holds here. Yeah, it seems to hold. This is another Legion game, Salmon, yes. We're going to resend to try to get the Sky Queen. It's, I think, our only option for these middling waves. Again, it's not great here, but we're overvalued, so I should be able to treasure hunt a little bit. Get some treasure hunts going if I can. Treasure hunts, I think, are one of the only things in this Legion that really inspire some confidence in me, in the ability for me to hold these middling waves. But I'm not loving it. At this point, wave 9 is now going to probably be my next big send. Seems to be the only time I'll be able to get through double Green Devil with Infiltrators, maybe 10. 80 income. We're going to push 3 off this. I think I'm good these next 2-3 waves. Should be good to go. The only other thing that kind of bites about having a Desert Pilgrim as well as boars is that I need to place a unit up front to get the boar charge, right? And if I want Desert Pilgrim to buff something, I got to be careful on where I place things and how I place them. It can be a little bit complicated. Though we are leaking both of our bots, which is good. I didn't anticipate being able to leak him here, but it looks like he gets a Fire Archer, which is not necessarily a great option for 7, right? So we're getting a little bit of king damage. I am going to just send again here because I need some value. I'm not going to push that extra worker to 11. Even with the leak now, it's just a long wave.
I hear the desert
20 over.
cold.
We're going to treasure hunt as well as place 2 units in the top right. And then we'll get another dragon turtle and then another snail. I don't want to super buff iron scales, no, because that would leave me incredibly weak to 16 and 17. At the end of the day, I'll probably just super buff a looter and just call it good. It's probably my only good option early game here. Not that I have many good options to begin with, so we're going to have to kind of just figure it out. Super Looter is honestly not as bad as you'd think because it's my only Swift tank option. It gives me a larger Swift tank, which I will inevitably need. We get another big leak out of my bot. Hopefully this game just ends soon because I don't think we're going to be able to hold late game or middling game with this right now. We do get quite a bit over value here, which is phenomenal for us because we're not great in the next couple. So we are going to be buffing the a Sand Badger here. I don't think it's a bad play. I think it's our only real play. But yeah. We should be able to treasure hunt here. We are overvalued a good bit and also now have a Chieftain. Chieftain is probably our best bet in this situation because it gives us some magic damage. And they king up again, which is phenomenal for us. This again is why bots are not always necessarily true to life in terms of being able to utilize them as a how should I say, a learning tool, because in real games someone's not going to king up you back to back to back after you have a pretty nasty leak on 5. But it does look like we're getting king damage again, which is solid. Again, helping us get through this mid game where we're quite honestly pretty poor in terms of hold potential. My play next wave is to go alpha male here. I think alpha male is by far my best option in terms of wanting to hold. I think it'll give me the most potential. We're going to send again here. I am overvalue. We're looking okay. I'm going to drop another rat treasure hunt again because I don't think they'll have much to send me. We now should be in a position where the alpha male should tank for a while and allow our Sky Queen to get some good damage in. Going for a DT here is DT spam here into my guy is probably our best bet. I think this might end up being a win just solely due to the fact that the bots are kind of throwing for us, which is always lovely. You love to see it. Now the hope is that my bot and I both hold here. Seems to be looking pretty close. I just noticed the bot has Cartel. That is the first time I've ever seen the bot take Cartel. That must have been an addition or change here recently. We do hold here myself. Both of them are indeed leaking, so that's good. I think we go 12. If I had to make the call for anything in particular, I think 12 would be my call. Though it looks like my bot will probably want to send, which then in turn I can't go 12. The bot did not send on me. It did select giant snails Let's see if it does send now. Whenever the bot selects giant snails, it's a little bit of a scary proposition because they'll just start spamming them randomly. The reason why the sand badger is getting buffed right now and not the rats, as you can see here, this big arching range, that is the range for the buff. So if I were to place a rat here, you'll notice it gets the buff. If I place the rat here, it doesn't get the buff. It's just it's all range based. So we should be able to place that rat there and still, again, not get the buff. Beauty of rats, though, as well, is that we can just sell them whenever we wanted to, right? They're, relatively speaking, cheap, easy shift. Oh, bot, why you do this? Come on, man. We're actually looking pretty good here now. Not necessarily that we're sitting in an overarchingly great position, but we've got good value at this point. We got through the early game, which is the scariest part, in my opinion, of this build. Getting through that early game, making sure you can sustain, is extremely important. And my bot must have been really scared for some reason. Not entirely sure why, but you live and learn with bots. We're gonna go for a king, the chieftain up here, and you'll see that this rat's gonna get buffed now just because it's slightly more to the right. So we'll sell that rat, we'll treasure hunt, as well as push another worker here. We're really good on this wave now of 12 because we've got boars as well as good frontline after, or good backline tank at this point with the chieftains to keep our Sky Queen just rolling and alive. So I don't feel too terrified here. Sitting in a relatively good spot. Send the mole or the hermit just in case because of the bunk. Bot placing down a Poda is great for us. I don't think Cyan will leak here, but I think my teammate should hold actually. And it looks like we're getting through yellow. Oh no, Cyan also does leak. And that does look like to be the game. So this went better than I anticipated, but doesn't mean necessarily that, again, Nomad is that great. I think it comes down a little bit more to the bots throwing for us. I still would say if you're going to choose a Legion to play, I wouldn't choose Nomad personally. Some of the units in there are fine, but I don't think you can get away with playing it more than occasional just to learn the base core units. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope I gave you guys some insight in Nomad. If so, please like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.